All right, today we're putting on our detective hats and diving into some of the most beautiful jewelry you'll ever see. We are going to crack the code that separates two absolutely stunning but very different styles, the bold Victorian and the elegant Edwardian. So let's get our investigation started. Have you ever held a gorgeous piece of antique jewelry, maybe something passed down in your family, and thought, this exact thing? You are definitely not alone. It can feel like you're trying to decode a secret language of intricate metals and gemstones. But I promise, by the end of this, you're going to be an expert at spotting all the clues. So what we're looking at here are two eras right back to back, but driven by totally different cultural vibes. This is really a story of sentiment versus style, of heavy, rich gold versus airy, delicate platinum. We're talking about jewelry with two completely different personalities. Okay, so here's our timeline, just to get us grounded. First up, you've got the Victorian era. It was a long one, spanning over 60 years under Queen Victoria, a really transformative period. And then bam, right after we step into the Edwardian era, much, much shorter, just over a decade. But whoa, did it bring a complete and total change in style and technology. Let's start with our first suspect, the Victorian era. If you had to boil this period's jewelry down to just one word, that word would be emotional. It is all about feeling, memory, and deep personal meaning. You see, the defining influence of this whole era was Queen Victoria herself. I mean, her entire life, her intense love for Prince Albert, and then her profound lifelong mourning after he died, that directly shaped what jewelry was in fashion. These pieces are just packed with symbolism. Think lockets holding a snippet of a loved one's hair, or snake rings that symbolized eternal love. And because the era went on for so long, it wasn't just one monolithic style. It actually had a few different phases. In the early Romantic period, everything was about delicate, nature-inspired pieces. But then, after Prince Albert's death, the style shifted dramatically into the Grand period. That's when you see all the darker stones and mourning jewelry. And finally, the aesthetic period kind of lightened things up again with these whimsical star and crescent moon designs. So what are the key clues to look for? Well, first off, yellow gold was king. You'll also see a lot of darker stones like jet and onyx, especially from that middle mourning period, alongside some colorful garnets and turquoise. But most importantly, look for those symbolic details. The intricate snake bracelets and those lockets meant to hold a little secret. They give the jewelry this substantial, meaningful feel, like it was truly built to last for generations. Okay, now let's turn to our next suspect. After all the weight and deep sentimentality of the Victorian era, the Edwardian period just sweeps in like a breath of fresh air. This was the Belle Epoque, an age of luxury, parties, elegance, and this incredible lightness. It was a very deliberate move away from those somber decades that came before it. And the real game changer for this era? It came down to one single material: platinum. Seriously, the ability to finally work with platinum changed everything. See, it's unbelievably strong, yet you can work it into the most delicate, intricate shapes. This allowed for these airy, lacy designs that were just impossible to make with gold. This one metal truly defines the entire look of the era. With platinum in their hands, jewelers could suddenly achieve these breathtaking new effects. They started creating incredibly light, lacy designs using techniques like filigree, which is basically weaving together these super thin metal threads, and millgrain, which adds this tiny, beaded texture to the edges. The whole theme shifted from heavy symbolism to pure style. Delicate bows, ribbons, and floral garlands just dripping with diamonds and pearls. This was jewelry that celebrated finesse and pure sophistication. So let's put them side by side. A Victorian piece, it feels significant in your hand. It's heavy, rich with meaning, solid. An Edwardian piece, on the other hand, it feels almost weightless. It's dainty, elegant, and it's way more focused on style than deep symbolism. Think of it like this. It's the difference between a heartfelt, whispered secret and a dazzling public statement. Okay, so you have met our two suspects. Now it is time to equip you with your very own detective's checklist. These are the key questions you need to ask yourself next time you have a mystery piece in your hands. This little chart breaks it all down for you. First, check the metal. Is it that warm yellow gold? That's a huge clue for Victorian. If it's the bright, cool white of platinum, you are almost certainly looking at an Edwardian piece. Then feel the weight. Is it heavy or is it light? And what about the theme? Is it a symbolic snake, or is it a stylish little bow? Even the way the diamonds are cut is different. This checklist right here is your secret weapon to cracking the case. So, why does all this detective work actually matter? I mean, it's not just about satisfying your curiosity. Correctly identifying a piece has some very real and very important consequences. First and foremost, there's the value. The materials used, especially that pricey platinum and Edwardian pieces, can really impact the price tag. Then there's insurance. Proper identification is absolutely crucial for getting the right coverage. But maybe the most important thing is that it unlocks the piece's true story. You're no longer just looking at a pretty brooch. You're holding a tangible piece of history in your hands. So the next time you look at a family heirloom or you're browsing in an antique shop, you'll have the tools to see beyond just the sparkle. You can ask the right questions and really start to uncover its history. Every single piece has a past. The only question is, what story is your jewelry waiting to tell?